Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be joining from. As usual, from the West African time, even though I'm not in Nigeria at the moment. Today is Sunday, the 25th of May, 2025, 8 p.m. Nigerian time. And we're going to be talking about the deadly sales mistakes killing 90% of businesses. And most importantly, how to flip the script. All right, with me tonight, I have Mr. Koni Fiwaji. I'm going to just read a bit of his bio and then I'm going to hand over to him. Please, if you have questions, kindly use the chat box. And at the end of the presentation, if you prefer to ask your question by unmuting your mic, yes, there's going to be a time to do that. Who is Mr. Koni Fiwaji? Mr. Koni Fiwaji, with a razor-sharp focus on turning small businesses into revenue powerhouses, he is the strategist behind the success of over 290,000 entrepreneurs who follow his actionable TikTok insights. As a founder of YagaPay, a fintech trailblazer that skyrocketed to 240 million naira in 2024 revenue, he proves that innovation and hustle redefine industries. But Kony doesn't stop there. Through Vuvu, Binary Technologies, Upsell Studio, and his viral digital presence, he equips business owners with tools, tech, and tactics to dominate their market. I call that the three T's: tools, tech, and tactics. Whether streamlining payments, amplifying sales, or mastering social media, Kony's mantra is clear: think big and earn big. At this point, I would like to welcome Mr. Kony Fiwaji as he takes it over. Mr. Kony, over to you.
Thank you very much. Um, I won't say good evening, but from what I've learned, I think I'll just say greetings to all the time zones. Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. Before I proceed, I think I would like a confirmation that I'm audible enough. If everybody can hear me very well, like I can just get one or two.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, from my side, you are audible. Any other person from the current 21 people? Somebody should just also confirm, please.
Yes, we are
All
audible.
right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Fantastic.
Okay, Mr.
Thank you
Lorufemi,
very
thank you
much.
too.
So,
Excellent.
I love the introduction that Mr. Shegun just gave now, you know. But I think I would like to introduce myself just a little bit differently. Um, you know, by answering a question that is in my head right now, which is why am I why am I here on this seat, speaking to this amazing people here? The successes are one, but I think I would like to come from the fact that I've had the necessary failures, and I think that's why. Um, I see a lot of persons. I mean, some people are just lucky that they've been having a very smooth ride in business. But I'm in that space where I had to just, face it, the fears that some people are having right now. I had to face those fears, and in as much as it might have been a painful experience back then, it just seems to be the unfair advantage or competitive edge that I have in the space of, business coaching, sales, and marketing generally. Um, I've had I had a logistics business that failed. We had a couple of bikes. I had a laundry business that failed, um, which is so strange. The laundry business had over 300 customers. Now you wonder, how can a business that had over 300 customers fail? I've had a food business that failed, to mention a few, right? And all through that period, I some things were happening that I did not fully understand, but it was experience. It was answers to questions that I was thinking I was the only one going through it, not knowing a whole lot of people are just wandering around the wilderness in their business. They don't fully understand it. And they struggle, they are, bootstrapping all the way, and they just nosedive at the end of the day when they can't take it any longer. This transitioning from that into having a couple of successful businesses right now is exactly what makes me confident enough to accept the invitation, from Club AFI to come and speak and, just talk on some things that are not just theory, just some article that I read and then I'm coming over to say over here, but, reality that I've passed through myself and here to share solutions that they are just timeless. So thank you very much again. And I was telling you earlier that I was excited. I am excited to be here because my understanding of Club BFI is it's a club of entrepreneurs. And there's something about speaking in an environment where the people can pick up, as you speak, they understand, they are way familiar with, half of the things you're saying. It gives a certain flow of energy to, the whole meeting. So I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you
so
for
I want
coming.
to talk about, yes, sir. I want to talk about a lot of mistakes, deadly mistakes, like we called it. Pardon the dramatics, deadly mistakes that a lot of small business owners do make, businesses generally, and of course, more importantly, how do we, flip the scripts? What a lot of people do in their businesses is they ignore three things. Some persons do one, they don't do the other two. Some people just do one for a while and then they forget about it at some point and they can't catch up again when it comes back, boomeranging. What am I talking about? I'm talking about 1, acquire, 2, convert, and 3, incentivify. No matter the business that you do, whether you are Coca-Cola or whether you are, just a laundry business, just a small business owner, these 3 things is what you must always do, right? You need to acquire potential customers for the business. You need to convert these potential customers into paying customers. And you have to incentivize those people into staying with you all through. Now, there are businesses that don't even do these 3 steps at all. They are freestyling. They don't fully understand what makes it imperative to follow these 3 steps. And there are some businesses that are doing these 3 steps, but they are making mistakes, deadly mistakes of being stuck in the past. They are not acquiring the right way. They are not converting the right way, or they are not giving the right incentives for existing customers to keep returning. And if any of this is the case, what I mean is, if you are not doing those 3 things, or if you are just using old methods for new times, that business is going to struggle without a doubt. And I'm saying this from experience, right? And I'm also saying this from bringing solutions to a lot of businesses and seeing it work before my very eyes. So let's start with the first one, which is acquisition, customer acquisition. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Every business wants to acquire as much customers as possible. But how do you do it? What methods are you using in your business? A lot of people, what we run to is adverts, paid adverts. Well, let me use online. So you do what? Facebook adverts, Instagram adverts, if you pay influencers, you just want to tap into that traffic that is on social media, that is on Google searching, and so on and so forth. Or maybe offline, quite a lot of people, what we do is we have a signboard or something to have people, like a lot of us are doing some things that are very, very effective, but in 2005, right? So in as much as I love adverts, right? But in the world of today, honestly, if you have a budget for customer acquisition, 20%, maximum of 20% is what should go into paid adverts. I'll tell you what I mean. Adidas, as big as I want to believe, if not everybody, quite a number of us here know Adidas. It's a sports, it's a sports clothing company. Adidas always, they have, of course, everybody has social media accounts nowadays. So they have accounts on TikTok and all of that. And they post, they try to engage people with their products and things like that. But Adidas in, I think like a month ago or so, they got their biggest visibility online ever. And it was not through paid adverts. It wasn't. It was because they were able to excite people, right? There was a match. There was a, what's it called now? A charity match, by some people online, some social media, some content creators, things like that. And somebody scored and he did a backflip. So the person that did the backflip now, in fact, is not even the one that scored the goal anyway, but he was celebrating and did a backflip. But this person has such huge following, right? And so many people are happy to see him. And the video had it was a photograph, actually. It had millions of engagements, not millions of views, millions of likes, comments, and things like that. Not because Adidas, of course, you would understand what that means for Adidas, the goodwill they were wielding from that, and also sales. But that did not happen because Adidas paid Instagram, TikTok, and so on and so forth. I'm not saying that in your business or your company, you cannot acquire customers or users for, maybe you have a mobile app and things like that, from advertising. Absolutely. But you will be stuck. You will be stuck 5 years ago if that is what the majority of your acquisition budget goes into. I'm assuming that, all of us here, we understand that we need to have a budget for acquiring customers every single month. Like, as long as your business exists, the effort to acquire customer must just be there in terms of numbers, in terms of money, So all of that things being equal, that being a constant now, that is what I mean when I say that the majority of our budget, in fact, the portion of your acquisition budget that should go into paid adverts, it should not be more than 20%. So the question now is, okay, how do we acquire, right?
Exactly.
We acquire mainly. Sorry, can we still hear me very well? I think I'm hearing another.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Saying that's the question on our minds now. So where should we spend
yes,
the 80%? The 80%, where should it go to?
Thank you very much. The 80% goes to just two things. It goes to content marketing, and it goes to search engine optimization. Let me start from content marketing. So one of the businesses I own that Mr. Shegun mentioned is YagaPay. Amazing. I love it. It's my baby, so to speak. Now, when we started, we started the business in 2022. And up until 2023, we had 100 and like just over 100, maybe like 110, 115, something like that, active customers. So anybody that runs a business that you need to acquire users to become your customers, you understand that you're not concerned about downloads as a businessman. You're concerned about if 100 people downloaded my application to use my business, how many are active customers, or if you have free, then how many are paid users, things like that. So we had just over 100 active customers. And I mean, I didn't like it. I wanted more. So what did I do? I went in the direction that a lot of business owners would nowadays. I started paying Facebook. I started paying Instagram. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what my eyes saw on Facebook. I was paying Facebook. We had the ads, like we did the old filter, everything very well. People were reaching out to me for help. They were reaching out to me for money. I saw your advert, plus the people that want to scam you. Some people will be like, oh, I want a WhatsApp TV. I saw your advert. It was just a whole lot, and well, Instagram was similar. Facebook is just worse, but Instagram was similar, to that experience. Sir, I spent money, but we moved from like 100 to 140 active customers. We got downloads, but real people that really want to do business with you, we just had like 30 people more. So that was my experience. And please understand that it wasn't like I just threw money at Facebook. We did the right things. The location, what are the interests of these people, the age brackets that we, and so on and so forth, But then something happened that opened my eyes. So in 2023, I started making content. Well, not because I want to sell a product, but because I wanted to be a part of, what's going on online. And what do? I can't dance, comedy skits. I don't think I'm that funny, and so on and so forth. So what do I do? But then I like, okay, I can talk about this thing that I know. If I pick somebody up in my car or something, before you know it, we've switched to what do you do? How's business? Yada yada. I just keep talking about how you can improve it, unsolicited, by the way, And I said maybe I should just talk about this. And then I did, and I realized, oh, there's actually a gap, online for that. And we started, that then. I still did not talk about YagaPay. I was just making content. And there was a time I just said, let me advertise our app. And now we are paying people for them, things like that. I think we were around maybe 50-something thousand followers then. And I did it the first day. We moved from 1,000 and from 1,000.
130.
Yeah, from like 130 to like 1,400 or something. No,
Wow.
sorry. No. That's wrong. From 1,000 and from 130 to like 500 and something. We had like over 400 people that joined. Now, please understand, to me, that I was ecstatic. I was so happy, what we never got from paying Facebook, from paying Instagram. Yeah. So I was so happy for the 400. And I was like, okay, now we're doing over 3 million plus monthly. This is good. And then, I went to a particular bank, and I was like, okay, so guys, I need I'm seeing some traction here. This is da 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 da. Of course, you fill out the many forms and so on and so forth. And I went back to my place and, reached out to the account officer a couple of times. I don't understand what's going on here. Like, there's no headway, so to speak. There's delaying and all of that. And I made okay, but wait, this is a business that people pay us before we give them the service. So I decided to do another video talking about the product. And I did, and the video didn't go very far, maybe because I was advertising. And then I did another one. In fact, there was one video I did, I cried like, did I load my app? It was just drama anyway, but still nothing much happened until I made I think that was the fourth video I made talking about the product. And I made it at night. I posted at night. I was tired, so I went to sleep. But honestly, I wish I did not go to sleep, because in one night, we had over 12,000 downloads just from that video, right? The kind of business that Yagape is about, you would understand the meaning of 12,000 people downloading. Remember, I said when we had 400 more customers, so that was like 500 and something, we were making 3 million plus. So understand what it means when I'm talking of these numbers that just joined us. Like, of course, not everybody, again, those are just downloads, but we had 3,000 plus active customers. It's not even up to 24 hours because I posted at night. What woke me up was there's a platform called Twilio for user verification and things like that. The money has finished. How? Okay, I checked. What? We're getting traction. I funded maybe like $500 or something to Twilio. It finished again. And I called my CTO. We have to remove Twilio, please. Like, what is going on? These guys, we just keep taking our money, and we just removed Twilio and made it a seamless, onboarding for users. We had over 3,000 active customers from somebody that was paying Facebook and Instagram and expecting a lot to happen, but just having like 100 and something users to 3,000 just because of the content. So of course I figured it out from there. I think that was it, right? And I knew this is the way to go when it comes to acquisition in the world of today. Sir, Mas, you have to understand that when it comes to acquisition, pardon me that I'm taking a lot of time on the first one. I just want us to get these things inside out and understand where these talks are even coming from. So now, talking of acquisition, when you run adverts, Facebook is ready to take as much money as you're ready to spend, right? If you want to be spending 10 million naira every day, they have the crowd to show your things too, especially if you don't really even now know what you are doing, then you understand they will show it to people in Sambisa forests, even though your business is, you need people in maybe Lagos and things like that. If you don't understand how to set up the ads well.
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, I love them, but paying, depending your business, the strategy that you want to use to acquire customers for your business, that strategy being just paying Facebook adverts, you are stuck in the past in the world of today. I gave you examples of people that have, I don't know if anybody here in this meeting is as rich as Adidas as a company. I don't know. If that is the case, then take it from your colleague that you guys are on the same, your business is on the same level. They did not get what they got from organic reach. They did not get it from paid adverts. So anybody here this evening, that's the holy grail that you have for acquisition for your business being paid adverts, please just erase it right now. I'm not saying don't do advert at all. That's why I said 20% maybe focus on these things I'm talking about. Organic customer acquisition from content marketing. You need to have a social media account. You probably already know that, and you probably already have that. But if you understand how I came to talking about, my transition to talking about you needing a social media account, then it will guide you on what to do for that social media account. Organic customer acquisition is not, social media is not Facebook or maybe TikTok. TikTok is not Jumia. TikTok is not Gigi. TikTok is not just where you just go and then you just keep advertising. You guys need to buy from us. Hey guys, you know, you will not get as much as you can get from that place. I didn't get users because I just kept advertising. Maybe that's what we do. We wear a t-shirt, somebody's posting every day. No, we got users because I got a following first. People that want to listen to what I have to say, like they're on their phone, and then they see my video and they stop. Oh, this guy. That is when you're having a brand. People seeing at the site of, stopping at the site of you, online and things like that. That's when you are having a true following from a large number of people. That is the first thing that your business must have. Now, some people will say, it's only skit makers that do this. No. And why am I saying no? Is because I have another example to prove my point. So when I saw this first one happening, I'm like, wow. Of course, I did not go back to Jais Bank for any loan. We don't need it anymore. I'm like, this is just, my withdrawal is from this space, this social media space. We'll get what we need from here. And we did another one. In fact, this one, we were very strategic. We named the channel the name of the product that we were coming to introduce to the audience. We named it Vuvu. So there's a channel called Vuvu TV on TikTok, for example. TikTok has the biggest audience, and Facebook. Then I think Instagram has the least. So we named it Vuvu TV, not because, do you know what I was doing there? So on Sales Republic, I was teaching, which I'm going to go into. I'm going to tell us right now 3 ways that you need to make content for your business or social media to be able to get this kind of following I'm talking about. So this, on Sales Republic, well, formerly Sales Jacoban, I was teaching. But I said, okay, let's do something different. Now we were entertaining. I was saying stories. I was telling stories. I am not a storyteller, okay? I'm there for the business. But that was just my market entry, my audience entry strategy. And, we just, what we've learned from the first one, we applied it to the second channel and it worked. We grew fast enough to over 400,000 people following in like 4 months. Very amazing, right? And of course, when we saw that the people were loving what they are having and so on and so forth, we brought in the product, which is Vuvu. In fact, I'm an entrepreneur, so I push as hard as possible. My CTO, everybody, I'm like, this app needs to be ready now. And, we pushed it to the market and it grew faster than YagaPay because of what we learned. Like, this is it. We need to get an organic following, first of all. It's not about that product. Sell me a pen. Is it about the pen? No, it's not about the product that you want to sell to the people. It is about getting the people in your corner, first of all, and then let's say, guys, I have this thing. That was it. And that's what we did. We were telling them stories. Oh, yeah, this thing happened, yada, yada. People are, oh, Vuvu, Vuvu. Okay. So now we just launched our app, Vuvu. It created a sense of belonging, yada, yada, and all of that. And, the same business that YagaPay is about, that's what Vuvu is about, multi-brand acquisition. That's what we were doing in that space. But it got us way more money. From 3 million plus, we started recording minimum of 25, right? And so on and so forth. It was just an amazing time, an amazing moment, just using this same strategy, which is content marketing. You need to bring content these 3 ways. It's either you educate people, or you entertain people, or you inspire people. Those are the 3 things. So let me explain. So Sales Republic is a very good example of that. I teach small business owners sales strategies, things like that. And you have people reaching out to me. Mr. Shegun reached out to me. You have a lot of people that I consult for right now is basically just because I have a TikTok channel, Sales Republic, from anywhere. In fact, I always say it on the channel that 90% of the people that, ask for my service, they are not even in Nigeria, So like, if I probably didn't come out to do that and get that exposure, I won't have people reach and so on and so forth. You can educate people. Educating people is powerful because it positions you as an authority in that space. They understand that, okay, you know what you're doing. How does this apply to your business? So let's say maybe what you do is you have a, in fact, let me bring it so low. Maybe you sell beddings, you sell curtains, you sell duvet, you sell, I don't know, things like that. There are some things I don't know. I don't understand colors. I don't understand what looks like really, really expensive. Okay, if somebody comes into a place now, this is how they are going to feel if they see this type of curtains. This is how they're going to feel if, like, your children in their bedroom should have this type of beddings. And just for these reasons, because of this, because of that, like, just educating people on things. I'll give you an example. Somebody was talking, there's a perfume called Mosuf. So that person was teaching people how to identify the original Mosuf, right? I watched the video. I'm telling you, just outside my estate here, I can count like 4 to 5 people that sell perfume. 2 supermarkets sell perfume. There's a friend selling, and so on and so forth. But I bought it from this person because I felt like he knows what he's talking about. He understands this. He has convinced me that he knows this business. So I'm like, and I went there, they delivered it. When people, viewers, audience online understand that you are ridiculously good at what you do, whether you import and sell solar panels, whether you, whatever, just name the business, right? In fact, there's a man that has a fish farm, um, uh, Tifik or something like that. He's into catfish business and things like that. So he comes to make content and then he talks about why this fish should be prepared this, they should smoke it this way, so that things like that. That is what changed his business. Of course, a lot of people that reach out to him, it's not like they don't sell catfish in their city or things like that. Or no matter how big your business is, just use it at that scale. It doesn't mean people are not near you. Whatever business you do right now, there are people that are probably in 5-kilometer radius of you that need it. But one, either they don't even know your business exists, or two, I mean, you are just one of the many people that say they do these things. Now I'm connected. I feel connected to somebody. He has convinced me that he is a boss. He's really good in this thing. And I feel better. I feel safe ordering the perfume from him. So I did. That is one way, educating people. Entertaining people is the second way. Entertaining, the strategy is different. When you are entertaining people, you just want to gather the crowd. It's not about you being an authority. That is when you are educating. You just want to gather the crowd, and in the spirit of feeling good, you talk about your product. That is why if you want to run adverts, if you want to post a video on YouTube, I have a monetized YouTube channel. So if you want to post a video on YouTube, they ask whether it is suitable for adverts. Because how people feel when you advertise a product determines whether please get out or right? So for people that the strategy is not educate, is to entertain, you are monitoring the pulse of your audience before you advertise. You know, oh, this is the highest point for anybody to feel good in this particular video because of what we said here. I've been saying different things, and then we now say this, we know that, 8 people out of 10 people will be like, And that is the point to talk about your product. So those are, people will monitor the pulse if you're entertaining before you push the product. It is different from if you're educating. If you're educating, you just need to talk, make your point, it makes sense, and then you say, okay, if you need my one-on-one session, whatever the case is, right? To inspire, this one is even shocking because there are some people on social media, they don't even talk. They don't do anything. They just, let me give you an example. So there's a man that he can make an elephant from cake. He's not teaching anybody anything. He's not saying, okay, you will add so milligrams of flour. He doesn't do any, he doesn't teach you. And he's not trying to be comical. He's not trying to entertain you. No, he's just trying to inspire people into like, oh, wow, just getting that awe from you. You know, that, wow, this person did this. And that is enough to bring customers even for him or clients, depending on what you do. All right. So content marketing, again, I've shown you 2 examples. As a matter of fact, there's a 3rd one that we're working on to launch. This is May, June, by June. And the same thing will happen before the end of this year. If we have another meeting with Mr. Shegun, I would remind you, right? Content marketing, it will do the job. Whether you want to educate people and you have a following from there and you tell them about your product, or you entertain, or you inspire. Now, just know this, so that I want to try and leave acquisition very soon. Just know this when you want to make content, or when maybe you employ somebody to make the content for your brand, things like that. Just understand that social media is not an e-commerce platform. It is not, what do they call this? Like Gigi. There's a name for it. Gigi is not e-commerce.
Marketplace?
Classified ads.
Classified ads.
Yes,
okay.
I mean marketplace, but classified ads, because Gigi is just to show you, make you aware of products. You can't pay on the platform and things like that. But you know, it is none of those things. Imagine you go to Gigi and you are trying to socialize with people. That's not what they are there for. What they come to social media for is to consume content. Maybe watch some comedy skit and laugh, see some people dancing, or see some gossip or things like that. Just know what's going on. That's what they are there for. You should not make yourself who people are avoiding on social media. You cannot make headway that way. You have to be one of the persons they are hoping to see when they picked up their phone, right? You know, it's already a culture for many people. At the end of the day, it's okay, let me see what's happening online. Please, these people, they are running away from you, and it's so easy. It's just with the thumb, you know. So if your brand position itself as you are just there to advertise, come and buy this, come and buy that, they will keep avoiding you. You will not grow. You will not get the people. There's a lady called Mina. In fact, what she does is even sell trips. All she does is entertain people, give them this is da 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 da, and then she will say, this is my treat, blah blah blah, and all of that, and she's selling out like crazy. She sells out like crazy, you know. So that rule, if you will take anything away from acquisition, from content marketing, just take away that part that social media is not a digital marketplace. It is social media. People are there for content. Be part of the people that they are hoping to see whenever they come online. Not one of those persons that they always want to avoid, which is people that are just there to advertise. That is the logic, right? So not to take much time on that, let me move on to the second part of acquisition, which is search engine optimization, right? This is so beautiful. I say this, that if you make content and you get maybe 100,000 views on it, let's say some people have agreed with all we said so far, and they are shifting a chunk of their marketing, their acquisition energy to content marketing. Okay, if that's the case, so please understand this again about content marketing. If you make content and you make 100,000, you have 100,000 views on a particular video, it is not as relevant as if 1,000 people come to search for what your business do or for what you sell on social media, and you are part of the people they are seeing as results. So let me explain what I mean. So, I told you YagaPay got over 12,000 downloads in just a night from a video, but that particular video had 300 and something thousand views. It is not all those things people say that even if it's 10%, that is arrant nonsense in the world of today. That is not the real conversion. The real conversion is very small. In fact, 12,000, that's like 3%. I got 3% conversion because of the quality of that following that page. That's how I even got 3% conversion, right? Ordinarily, it is on Vuvu, we don't get up to 3% conversion, but we make up for it with volume, more volume of content, right? So the conversion is low. Conversion rate is low, but it works. You've seen the examples that I made now. However, so what is even more beautiful than content marketing is search engine optimization. Optimizing your page, optimizing your social media page, or optimizing your websites, optimizing your digital presence in a nutshell, right? For the people that are coming to those platforms, whether coming to search on Google or whether coming to search on social media for what you sell. Nothing is too big, nothing is too small to get on social media. I've bought couch, I don't know, many things, and people will still come to search for somebody selling Zobo yogurts, as little as that. People search for cars to buy online, and nothing is too big, nothing is too small. So optimizing your presence for those persons that come, that traffic that is relevant to your business is just key. How do you do this? So let's use social media for a start. You need to optimize your display name, not your username, your display name and your bio. So maybe I want to have an example from the audience. Can I have an example of what somebody do, please? Anybody, just give me an example of what you do. I want to use that to as this case study.
Can I go? I have my own.
Yes, sir.
Can I say my own?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so paint manufacturing is one of it.
Okay, very good. So now, for you, you manufacture paints, and some people, the people that are most relevant to your type of business is not even, it's people that are looking for wholesale. Now, you manufacture, right? So some people, there's one person that was took my mentorship program a while back. His name is Tokwe Alao. So he always talks about these paints. That's what he does. He is a distributor, right? For paints, for brands of paints. So I've forgotten Armstrong. So he's always talking about a particular paint, Armstrong, and all of that. Somebody like Tokwe Alao now is more relevant to your type of business because Tokwe Alao is not just a retailer, he's a distributor. So what is Tokwe Alao looking for? If he wants to search for your kind of person on social media or on Google, what is it typing? Now, you're in that business, you know what they call you. I mean, so if you are to think of a name, right, that the people that patronize you normally refer to your type of person as, what do they say?
Well, they just search for paint manufacturers, paint brands, or paint companies.
Okay, so now you mentioned three things, sir. What you have to do is the one that you know they usually call it the most.
Yeah.
That is what you will name your brand as. I mean, the social media account of your brand. You would not say, what's the name of the company, sir?
Paint Plus.
You will not say Paint Plus. Because if you open a social media account and then you say Paint Plus for the name, that is optimized for people that are coming to look for Paint Plus on social media. And some brands fall in that category. Maybe, I don't know, Coca-Cola, Adidas, things like that. But if the goal of Paint Plus on maybe TikTok, for example, is to be findable by people that are looking for what you do in your company, how they come to search for your type of company, for your type of service or products, is how you will name. You will not put Paint Plus, you will put that paint manufacturer, paint, whichever one they use the most. That's what you will put. The reason is just because anytime anybody searches for something on social media, the query, it indexes the most relevant thing to that key phrase that the person typed. Let me say what I mean. So, you can search on TikTok, for example. So if you type something there, how does it know what to show you? How does TikTok know the results to give you for that thing you searched? So how that happens is, whatever the person typed, it searches for what is most relevant to that thing that the person searched. So if somebody searched paint manufacturer in Nigeria or paint, whatever the case is, it's not looking for Paint Plus, it is looking for the names, the text, the characters that are most relevant to that. And that is what it will show. That is what it will show under users. So you can just, okay. Sorry, permit me to make this very, very small practical for us. So I'm on social media now, so I want to search for, no, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think, can you maybe possibly see my screen?
Yeah, if you leave it static, I think it's manageable, but
okay,
I mean,
okay, you know what?
go ahead and tell us what you see.
You can just try this on your devices, right? Just go to maybe Instagram or maybe Instagram, for example. And what would you like to buy? What are you looking for? Just think of anything in your mind now. Think of something that maybe you want to see somebody that is selling it or somebody that is offering that service. Type exactly that, what you're looking for, and let's see the results.
You should try
if anybody can do this.
I was going to say you should try searching for paint manufacturer in Nigeria and see if Paint Plus will come up.
Let's do that, sir, please.
All right, I'm doing that.
Or any other person, So while my guy is doing this, let me proceed by saying that the way search engine optimization works is to optimize your page for possible search query by a potential customer. The way a potential client or customer for your business will type what they are looking for, that is how you should optimize your page, your social media page, for example, for that. And how do you do that on your social media page? The name, the display name, which is not the username, not the one that has @ behind it. No, the display name. The username is not relevant for search engine. That's why I'm emphasizing that. So the display name, number one. Then number two, the bio. So how do you optimize the display name? Okay, yes, sir, please.
So I just did the practical.
Yes,
so
sir.
I searched for paint manufacturers in Nigeria.
Yes.
And then I clicked on accounts, and only one company I've never even heard about popped up. And in their bio, I mean, the name of the company, whatever, but just the other one, they wrote the best paint manufacturer in Nigeria. And they were the only ones that popped up. No other company, no other paint manufacturer
look at
popped
how many
up.
followers they have, sir.
They have just 181 followers.
181. You see, that's search engine. Search engine is not about you just started your account today. You have just 181 followers. You have blah, 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 blah. Search engine is about how relevant. When anybody type, I'm looking for this, there has to be a way to know what to show that person that is typing I'm looking for. So how to know what to show the person is to just check the search query, what you are typing in that search box, and see what is most relevant in your database of whether it is TikTok, whether it is Facebook, whether, do you get the point? And then the one that is most relevant, they will feed you, the person searching it. That is the hack for search engine optimization for your brand. Just that thing that you do, just put it. You know, again, the formula for the name is product or service plus location, because that is how most people search. If I'm hungry and I need to eat, I will type food vendor in Surulere, food vendor in this, in that, right? If I want to buy hair, okay, hair vendor in Lagos. That is the behavior. All right, that's the behavioral pattern that users establish when they're searching. So that is why we are optimizing with product or service plus location. Now, going to the bio, remember I said username at whatever. See, when you say best top quality, whatever, you know, prefix, paint manufacturer in Nigeria, what's it called now? The username should now be your brand at Paint Plus or at Paint Plus NG, or, you know, what have you, something to just reflect your brand. Then the bio, of course, is the product or service plus added value plus call to action. I will explain this. So what do you do? Okay, so we are a paint manufacturer, right? You need to further explain, because sometimes I think the display name is just 30 characters. You can't type the description of everything you do there. So you have more space in the bio. That can take way more characters, right? So you can further explain there. Plus added value. You need to have an added value for this reason. There are some, unlike this paint manufacturer, actually, my guy is in a very, very good business because it's not saturated, obviously, from that. No. So, like, most businesses, there is a competition, right, in the results. Yeah. So if I type maybe food vendor or something, or maybe solar expert, things like that, you will see more than one result most of the time, right? Most people, they've gotten this kind of information, so they are doing that. So now I need to pick from one, right? And most people, they are still just window shopping because, I mean, there's abundance of results, so they're just checking through. I need an added value. I need something to further just make more sense, because it's a competition at this point. I'm not the only one showing up in the results now, right? So your added value can be anything. It can be 5% off for first-time buyers, or it doesn't even have to be something that will take money from you. It can be same-day delivery, just something other than the value proposition of your business or your company. You know, we manufacture paint, we sell paint, but then there's also this. If you consider buying, this also happens, right? And then, of course, the call to action, because we don't want to assume that, of course, they should know what to do. No, what should they do? Should they click the link below? Should they call? Should they send a DM? What is it? You need to just say it, because our goal is to get them to take action. In fact, that's the point of the added value, to further make sense then with the call to action. That's the formula for optimizing our bio. And I hope we remember the formula for optimizing our display name as well. So this is it. It doesn't matter whether you have 1,000, 1 million followers, that doesn't matter. And again, you see, when you post content in content marketing, which is the first one I talked about under acquisition, you can get 100,000 views, but it's a combination of many. That's so many subsets in that Venn diagram, right? Of the 100 views, like you have some people that they're just seeing you for the first time. Some people that they are starting to like you, some people that they already believe you, and so on and so forth. But anybody that comes to search for paint manufacturer in Nigeria, is he looking for Zobo drink? What he came to type is exactly what he's looking for. That is the most relevant person to your business. So you cannot joke at all with search engine optimization. And the barrier to entry is low. It's not a matter of you need to have social number following. Just write it exactly what you think, the way you think they search for you. Optimize your page for that, just like I said. So, sorry I took so much time on acquisition. I just wanted to break as much down as possible. Let us move to conversion. Again, one of the problems, one of the deadly mistakes that a lot of small business owners make is not following these three things. The first one we'll just talk about is acquisition. Then the second one, which is conversion. Now, I don't know how most people get their customers. Some people, it's not even the social media page, it's the websites and things like that. So what happens? You have tried to capture leads, which is marketing. Now you are at the point of conversion, which is sales. That's the difference between marketing and sales. Marketing is just, brand awareness and things like that, and trying to yada and get as much people to you want to pick their interests, right? And then bring them in, which is where you now convert them into paying customers using different sales strategies and things like that. So you've done that first one, right? They've seen your content, they believe you, or they've searched, they've seen you. How do we now convert them into paying customers? Some people, their website is what I like to call an empty vessel. It does not have a sales funnel. There is no, I don't know what is about us, mission, vision. I don't, just some things that, so if it's a website for you, maybe you're acquiring from maybe Google search engine now, which is another fantastic way to get customers, by the way. Because if you do Google ads, Google search ads, Google will only show your ads when anybody is searching keywords that is relevant to your business, which is what we've used in setting up the ads. Maybe I sell cars, and then somebody is saying how to know something, how to, and then they show me, this is what I do, sponsored, first 3 or something like that. So it's a very relevant one too. If you're thinking of ads, in fact, instead of doing Facebook ads, that money that you are thinking of spending on social media ads, put it, if you must spend on ads, put it on Google search ads. It is more relevant. Okay. Now, apart from maybe searching, Google search ads and things like that, your websites, it needs to have a sales funnel whenever anybody gets there. Whether it is organically that they saw you because your website is optimized, it has a very good SEO from your blog posts or the what you use. So on web pages, there are tags. Google Index crawls H1 tags. That's the heading. It sees it as the most important thing you want to say on that particular section of your page. So instead of saying paint plots, no, your H1 tag should contain keywords, key phrase, possible key phrase that potential people are going to search in Google. It is kind of like the same thing we just said about social media, but just this one is in web design and things like that, So let's say that is done properly. The next thing is just the funnel. So I'm there. What happens? What is the offer? Is there any sense of urgency and things like that? What happens if I take action now? Things like that. You must have a sales funnel of a kind. If it is not websites, if it is maybe social media platforms. So they've taken the call to action, they've clicked your WhatsApp link, or they sent a DM. What's the next thing? Let me tell you one of the things that we do. And by the way, somebody that was working for me recently missed out on some of those things, wasn't doing them, and I sacked her because I don't joke with those kind of things. The next person, it is the Bible that you must follow when it comes to your job in this particular department. What we do, anybody that comes down, after answering, maybe asked a question or things like that. After answering that question, the next thing we do is to bring them to WhatsApp. We are harvesting data that way. That's what we are doing, because we don't own TikTok. We don't own Instagram. Or like, I see some things happen. Some people will report somebody's page and then the page is down. And then both the people that you are having business conversations is down. You cannot access the accounts. Some people have sent you money. It's down. You cannot. So after answering somebody's question, we harvest data. Come to our own, come to WhatsApp. Let's talk there, and so on and so forth. So that is our own funnel. Because, we even love WhatsApp because we can follow up multiple times. Oh, this hasn't happened. That hasn't happened. And so on and so forth. Just reaching out, following up, retargeting till we get results, or the person said, or maybe the person decided to maybe block us or something. But we need response. It's not like we are being overly aggressive, but I'm just saying that we harvest data to a place where we can do proper follow-up, So that's our own funnel, right? I don't know, there are different kinds of businesses, so you might want to use different approaches, maybe based on the profile of your customers or your clients. This is how they think, these are the reason. Some people, the best way to approach their clients is emails. It's not, what's it called? It's not social media DMs or expecting them to go to their webpage and things like that. So that's what I mean by your type of business determines the best way to, the best medium to convert. Yes, to harvest data, or to even convert your leads, people that have shown interest from marketing, to convert them into paying customers. So whichever one, you just need to harvest the data for proper follow-up. That is the proper funnel. If on a website, you can be like, okay, so do this, so take advantage of this, so do whatever the case is, depending on what you do. But me, I will always just advise, harvest them to either WhatsApp or to a mailing list or whatever works for your type of business. And the offers, of course, it's not, if 100 people show interest from marketing, you need to have it at the back of your mind. I think a lot of us already know this, that not all of them become customers. Like I said, we made a video that had like 300 or something, and we had 3% conversion. From that 3% conversion, which is 12,000 plus that downloaded the Agape, then only 3,000 plus became active customers, people that paid money and started buying from us, became our paying customers. 3,000 from 12,000, so that is why it is a funnel. It keeps getting slimmer. People that eventually, take action, but it needs to happen. So whichever way that works for your business, that's the next step. And the same way a lot of businesses are not being religious with acquisition, those first two that we mentioned, the content marketing and the search engine, a lot of businesses are also just leaving money on the table by not properly converting those people showing interests, right? I have been a victim of this. In fact, recently, because we pushed out some ads talking about, so if you want to make a website, things like that, there was some money that was left on the table because the person that was meant to see to that did not convert, did not harvest the people to WhatsApp. That's the one I fired. You understand? So I'm also recently a victim of this thing I'm just talking about. So it's something that happens, but it's something you must keep looking into because it's killing your business, right? And this last one I want to touch is, how do you incentivize people into becoming returning customers? So let's say you've acquired them, you were able to convert them based on the offers you gave, based on the follow-up you gave and things like that, preferably on WhatsApp. Now they've bought something from you. How do you keep them? How are you sure that you're not just fetching water inside baskets? It will never be full. How do you do this? So you do this by two things. Number one, customer experience, which is the king. So right now, I'm using solar inverter, right? This person, he did a solar inverter for me like 2021. called BB Jump. This is 2021. Many years back, called BB Jump. And he did it, and amazing. His customer care, he will keep telling me happy new month, happy this, happy that, happy that. When I wanted to upgrade from the BB Jump, I had people that do solar as well. But I called him because he did not make me forget him. He gave me a very good experience when he did that first one, and he did some follow-up. But it wasn't even primarily because of the follow-up. It was because of the experience. And this guy, he continued it even when he did the upgrade for me, like early last year. When he did the upgrade for me, he still continued this same customer experience. So a particular, the inverter box, something happened at default. He brought one for me to be using, pending when he went to repair that one. He did not say because he has collected money from me then, I will now not see me again, or I won't see him again now that I need him, now that there's a problem and things like that. My experience with him as a customer, even if I'm doing another one tomorrow, I will still call this guy. Not for any sentimental reason, but because of the experience I'm getting from him as a customer. So customer experience is king by all means. And I'm not coming to say this particular one as a saint, because I have had, because anything that your business do is you anyway. So in a way, so I've had that situation where our business did not give the perfect customer experience. But because we have different KPIs for different departments, we have different key performance indicators for different departments, I was able to know what was going on. And we started, okay, let's use this. Okay, is live chat working well? Okay, let's, things like that. So we're looking for ways to improve it. So it might not be 100% perfect, for every company, but it is your way to keep the people that come to you. Customer experience. Was there any delay before you fulfilled your promise, before you fulfilled the order? Because remember, you made a value proposition for them to come. So what was the experience like getting that thing? That's number one. Then number two, post-transaction experience as well, and so on and so forth. So are you following up? Did you check? Like, let me give you a very good example. There is a platform called Namecheap. They are one of the people we use mainly for whenever we're building websites for customers. In fact, my staff, we usually have a meeting every Saturday. And sometimes I'm part of the meeting, most times I'm not, because it's the chief operating officer's job to be there with the meeting and things like that. But I attended one, and I made sure that all of us studied Namecheap's customer support. The experience is a stellar experience, it's impeccable, right? And we studied, and look at this person politely asked me for a few minutes before doing this, and I waited because, and so on and so forth. So just using that to show them this is the experience we need to give our customers when they come for help. So customer experience is just king. Invest in it if you must. Don't use one person to serve 10,000 people when you know that it will be hurting your company from the experience they are getting. So if you need to invest more in giving your customers or users a good customer experience, you might want to look into that, because it is one of the things that guarantee your longevity. So before starting a tech company, I worked at a tech company called Flip Digital Technologies, and one of the discussions that I get privy, because there I work as chief operating officer. One of the discussions I get privy to see is what the other founders are saying, that year. And one of it is this: it's not about marketing. It's not about bringing people in. Can you keep them? Because the ability of your business to keep these customers is what will determine what your business grows into. If you don't have the ability to keep them, you keep losing them, the business is dying. It's a deadly mistake for the business. So you have to invest in retention, which customer experience is one of the things that just guarantees it. The second thing, the second incentive you can give customers into staying, into becoming returning customers is retargeting with offers. Okay, you cannot do this one if you've not harvested data. If all your talks are in all those other places that you don't own TikTok, you don't own Instagram, right? But here, if you've harvested data in your own way, I don't know, maybe you use MailChimp for your mailing list, maybe whatever, depending on what you do, right? Or maybe it's just WhatsApp, like a lot of small business owners do, right? If whatever medium, if you are not retargeting with offers, they will forget you because there are many people out there that are fighting with bigger budgets, you know what I'm saying, for these same persons. I'll give you a very good example. So in the same mini estates that I stay, close to the gates, there's a restaurant. Now, there was a woman just outside, like way outside of the estate. So she saw me when she said, oh, at that place that they sell, that restaurant, the egusi is amazing and so on and so forth. So one day I saw that these restaurants, they are not starting to do well. Like, what's happening? People are not coming. So just out of genuine interest, I just asked the man, what's up? What's going on? I was not trying to consult for money. I just wanted to, I was just curious and want to know what's going on. And I asked the man, he said that, oh, people are not really within the country. I'm like, okay, that same talk. The country? No, that's not the case. This man, he does not have anything, even if it is a book, he writes down name, first name, and WhatsApp number of anybody that has been there before. I said, okay, as you are right now, I said, like, how many people have been here to eat? He said, it cannot be less than 200. But you don't even have half of them. You don't even have 100 plus people that you can retarget, that you can remind of the experience that they had. Somebody was telling me about an experience she had here of egusi soup. Many people, they've forgotten you are not the only person in the game. With retargeting, you can keep reminding people of the experience you gave them the last time. That is if you did that first one right, though, that's giving people a good customer experience. Let's assume that your company or your business is doing that. Now we have to keep reminding them of it from retargeting, which we can only do if we've even harvested data in the first instance. And you retarget with things like offer. Oh, happy, whatever. Every holiday is your holiday. Whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, every holiday is your holiday, right? For your business. Your business does not have a religion, it's an entity on its own. So every holiday is we are all doing it. Happy this, take 5% off for this, whatever the case is, just retargeting at every opportunity that your business gets. So that is the third mistake that a lot of businesses are making, which is deadly to their business. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince and not confuse you.
Yeah, thank you.
We must not joke with any of these steps. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kone. It's very amazing. I've been taking down a lot of notes. I must tell you, I shamelessly can admit that I've made some very terrible mistakes myself from the things you've educated. I actually do have a budget on paid marketing on a monthly basis. As in, I'm telling you this, and I've been doing this for years. Have I had some successes? Well, yes, but not as expected versus how much we spend on marketing budget. I do have a good amount on marketing budget on sponsored ads. If you are not sponsoring on Facebook or sponsoring on Instagram. And like you rightly said, those that are reaching out to us mostly are painters who will be telling us, hey, in case you have a job, we want to paint, I'm a painter, come and reach out to me. I mean, It's so annoying. The WhatsApp TV too, they will reach out to you and say, "Oh, 14,000 views, WhatsApp TV." Come on, you really hit the nail on the head. Anyway, we're really, fast spent with our time. Let's know if anyone has a question in the chat, or maybe you can feel free to unmute your mic and ask a question. Let's just take one person and we bring the meeting to a close. I actually do have a question as well, but I'm willing to give out my slots. Anybody willing to ask any questions, please? We were spiking about 32, 35. Now we're 26. Okay. Anybody, please, in the audience? Questions?
Let me pick something to show us.
Okay. Questions, please.
So just on the side, I don't know this man. Oh. His name is Michael Leboeuf. I don't know him. But
I know him
this
actually.
book, if you can get this book, How to Win Customers and Keep Them for Life, I would advise you to. Just another thing to add.
It was his other book that I have read before. Something Your Tomorrow. I can't remember now. You Tomorrow or something. Michael Leboeuf, blue and yellow cover. I can't remember. About more than 10 years ago.
Amazing.
Okay. All right. Any questions from anyone? Please, if there are no questions, let's bring the meeting to a close.
Yeah, I have a question. I was trying to look for the raise hand button, but I guess my tiredness cannot allow me to find that right now. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Mr. Franklin. Proceed, please.
Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to apologize that I joined very late. The first thing I heard when I joined was educate, entertain, and inspire. So it means that I missed a lot before then. So forgive me if my question doesn't. They probably had answered it before I joined. I think I have a thought. My question is as regards content. Yeah, content marketing right now. Yes. So I have an idea, and it's not the purpose isn't to make money though, just more like an inspirational content, faith-based inspirational content. And I've been considering to start posting it for a while. I've had the idea for years, but I've just never prioritized it. But I think it's a good time to start. And someone advised me to make it a video, which is not my kind of person. I'm behind the same kind of person. And I've been trying to wrap my head as to commit myself to making a daily video post on the content. And also, so my question is, what do you suggest? I would categorize it as inspirational, right? But is it good to use AI content to generate something for a religious post? I personally think, I don't know if I'm wrong, but I personally think that it will create a sense that there's no person behind this product or behind this face or behind this content, and may make people withdraw from it. The content is related to gratitude on a daily basis. I don't know, what do you think? Then secondly, as regards SEO that you mentioned, is it advisable that one should take a course on SEO specifically because it wants to ensure that all of his products are visibly seen online? I never even thought about SEO in the way you explain it. I do, I see it every time, and I thought I understood what it meant, but your description this evening threw more light to it, and I find it very impactful. So, what would you advise people, and is it still sensible considering with the leverage AI solutions that have come on board right now? Is it still wise for people to still go ahead and take SEO courses? Those are my two questions.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. So regarding the first question, which is, will it be profitable in the long run if you are making content where they are not seeing your face? So I'm going to answer that with two examples. So one of the most difficult niches to convert people if you are not doing it properly, is anything that has to do with money making. Make money online, sort of finance, stocks, things like that. So I'm going to like the toughest space. So you might need to check this channel maybe after this meeting. ALUX, ALUX on YouTube, and check a second one, School of Hard Knocks on YouTube. School of Hard Knocks, the guy goes around interviewing business owners, successful business owners. What's the most amount of money you made in a year? How did you get it? Things like that. He's showing his face. He has the followership and he's successful, really. ALUX, I don't even know who ALUX is. Okay, I got to see him when he was doing a particular project in South Africa for a school, things like that. But other than then, I had never seen him before. And I follow the channel, and he has over 1 million people following. I don't know what they are right now. Just so many people, right? Following the channel. They sell courses. They have a mobile application. You have people in the hundreds of thousands downloading, things like that. One was not showing his face. One was showing his face in a very difficult niche. So whichever direction you want to go, even if you're a behind the scene type of person, there is space for you to do what you want to do, right? The key is, how are you going about it? I think that is what determines the results you pull in, and which also depends on the platform where you are. If it's maybe social media, then you have to understand how to structure what you make. Does it have a hook? Is the first three, what they hear in the first 3 seconds, is it energetic enough to do the most important thing, which is stop them from scrolling to see what you're saying, to listen to you? The hook, is it followed by suspense? Okay, you stopped me. What next? What's in it for me to keep listening to you, to keep watching this video? You do that, you can go on the positive or the negative side. The positive, you're telling me what I stand to benefit if I continue watching, or negative, what I will lose, what I stand to miss out if I leave, right? Either way you are just, it's the same integer, right? You are doing the same thing. So now, if you understand how to structure your video this way, either you have a face or you don't have a face, you will still have followership. You will, or the most important thing, which is not even number of followers anymore, talking of today's social media, it is visibility. How many people are saying what you are saying and probably engaging you as well? So whether you show your face, and I showed you 2 examples. I said 2 examples now, ALUX and School of Hard Knocks. There's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot, right? The second question, talking about how the gradual saturation of AI in this and that, what's the relationship with how relevant search engine optimization is, right? Is this still worth you taking a course in it? AI, in the world of today, currently, AI is still prominent in generation of content, generation of information. Search engine optimization is not being replaced by AI. It helps you with making better search. AI helps you in making better SEO for any platform where you are. So AI can tell you the best title to give a particular article you want to post on your blog. AI can probably even write the article for you, and you can further tell it to do this, do that, If I'm a layman, I know nothing about SEO. Honestly, how I would query that AI is different from somebody that understands search engine optimization. We will both demand differently from DeepSeek, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever AI you use. How we will query it is different. What we would demand is just like, maybe let's say, let me use something as popular as maybe barbing. You know, if I'm a barber, I understand it. I can demand some things that I want for my hair care, like, oh, this, than somebody that doesn't have as much information, that is not well informed about this thing, that they want, what they want to consume. They are not as informed. The person that has a whole lot of information, that knows a whole lot of it, can demand differently. So I will advise you, it is worth the investment to take a course on search engine optimization. By the way, you can take a course on YouTube University, which is just searching YouTube for as much on search engine optimization as possible. And now you have to pay with time, right? To, you know, just go through that learning curve and know what you need to know. But whether you are using time on YouTube or you are paying, I don't know, maybe LinkedIn courses or any other LMS to learn this thing, it is worth it. I hope that answers your sir. Okay.
Wow. Thank you for that masterclass. Yeah, thank you so very much. Well, coincidentally, my question was the same thing he asked, but it was in a different way. Mine was for those who are not ready to show their faces for content marketing, what would you advise? But Franklin actually took that from me, and I think that really works. So I know Alox. I mean, I follow them as well. They have over 4.8 million followers. The voice of that lady, you can't miss it. But you know one thing, she has never, I don't even know the face. I don't know how she looks like, right? So for those who want to do content marketing, my own question was like, okay, for those that don't want to do content marketing, how do you advise them? So, I mean, you can actually still do your content marketing without necessarily showing your face since you are a behind the scene person. Okay. I think we really fast spent with time. Fikayo, you want to ask a question? Or should we just bring the meeting to a close? It looks like you unmuted your mic. If you have a question, okay. All right. So before we go, I just want to say thank you very much, Mr. Coney, for giving us your time and attention. Thank you for bringing your A game to this. Trust me, this is not the last time we're going to have you. We would probably have you in our physical annual conferences that we have every January, and we are going to surely stay in touch. Maybe I'm going to come and pay for your service to be my consultant for my business. But yeah, before you go, for anybody in the community, probably here or would be watching the YouTube, what kind of offer do you render from your business for, entrepreneurs or business owners? What kind of product or service do you offer? Do you offer a discount? Do you offer a coaching service? Do you offer a consulting? I mean, what can you offer to our community? I mean, that would give them an advantage as though, coming from the community rather than just coming as a general person from the,
Yes, I mean, absolutely. First of all, let me apologize to everyone for, I just checked the time myself. Sorry, I took, that
it's
long.
fine.
Then also, so, I mean, there was a time that I was all about service, but the more you learn about the whole money thing, you understand it's in products, So that was when I started, and I love digital products. That's when I started building businesses that use digital products like YagaPay, which is a bill payment and things like that. However, we still offer marketing service, and these are the subcategories. We do one-on-one business consultations. Like I always say, I mean, fingers are not equal. There are people that they can conceive ideas, but executing, bringing it to life efficiently is not their strong suit. But once it's active, they can manage it and sit down with it well, right? And there are some people, what they can do is, in fact, is execute. But their spirit is adventurous. They can't sit down with that thing, and they are thinking of the next thing to conquer and things like that. So depending on the clients, whichever one the person would like to outsource, yes, we offer that service. Whether it's management or whether you have the idea and please help me assemble the right team, and so just consultation on business. Then also we do things like maybe you want to run ads, you want to build websites, you want to build mobile applications, things like that. And we pride ourselves in not building empty vessels when it comes to website, because a website for a business owner is not about how fine. It is about the ability to bring customers or clients for your business, wherever it is. If the website is online, does it have proper search engine optimization to show when people are searching for, and so on and so forth, right? Yeah, so that is it basically. But in fact, a lot of times it's when people reach out to us regarding their business that we understand where best we can function efficiently to give them an amazing result. So say, okay, I have this, I need this. Can you get me a distributor for the things like that? And yes, absolutely, Club EFI, because Mr. Shegun has promised that we'll still have this again. So that means Club EFI is family now, right? So I mean, there will definitely be a consideration that will reflect in how we go about the figures, the budget and price for service and things like that.
Fantastic. Thank you so very much. I know you didn't see that question coming, but yeah, I had to ask that question. So guys and everyone, thank you so much for your time and attention. We really short the time, but I trust it was worth every bit of it, every second of it. Once again, thank you, Mr. Connie, for your time. Thank you for bringing your A game. Thank you for, dishing it out. I have learned a lot. I've taken a lot of notes. We're going to use this in our community and on our online social media handles in the following days, just to share some tips and some of those things that you have shared. I could probably do a video of it, a carousel or something. Our media team is going to help us handle that, so that the people who didn't attend this can also get, bits and pieces of this, in the next couple of days. I want to say thank you all so much to you. And then I want to say thank you to everyone who has also been on the call. You could be doing something else at this time. I mean, tomorrow is another working day. Where apart from those in the Arab nations who are actually working today and some of our other people. Thank you so very much. And yes, we're going to upload this video on YouTube and on our social media handles. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic new week ahead. And yes, this is our last meeting in the first half of the year. In the month of June, we have a mid-year break, and then we are resuming our monthly meetings again in July. But again, from me to you and from all the executives of the club, sorry, I didn't even mention your names. They are also on the call. We say thank you and have a pleasant end of May and a fantastic June ahead. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Bye.